Another bet I would have lost. Good morning, 7:05. Glad to have you here on KCMO Talk Radio. I said yesterday Mayor Lucas would sit this one out. He would avoid chiming in on the L.A. riots, which continued into the early morning hours this morning. Of course, it's just after 5 a.m. Pacific time, and we heard from a News Nation correspondent on the show last hour, Mills Hayes, and she said some of the rioters weren't done until about 3:30 this morning. So they're just hitting their REM sleep out there in L.A. They're getting their beauty sleep after, some riots and looting of Apple stores and things like that in the late night, early morning hours. But I figured Mayor Lucas would sit this one out. I was wrong. The mayor posting on social media shortly after we got off the air yesterday, which I wonder if that was a coincidence. He didn't want me to give him too hard of a time right on a Monday morning. He posted on social media here, L.A. Mayor Karen Bass is one of our country's strongest local leaders. What evidence is there of that for the woman who was halfway around the world as the city was starting to light up during wildfires a few months ago? The failure to expeditiously rebuild in the wake of those wildfires hasn't gotten a lot of attention, but it's been a red tape disaster. I mean, please, what evidence is there that Karen Bass is one of our country's strongest local leaders? Maybe if you compare her to other major American cities in California, she may be on that list. But nobody in their right mind could ever come to that conclusion based on anything factual. The mayor adding here, this is Quentin Lucas, she, LAPD, and the LA County Sheriff's Office were managing a local dispute until national figures ignited a firestorm, misusing the National Guard and the bully pulpit of the presidency to exacerbate divides. Mayor Lucas adding here, anyone seriously worried about the safety of Los Angeles residents should defer to the judgment of the governor.
Yeah.
The mayor and local leaders. I'll save my lectures. Oh, really? Are you sure about that? He says here, I'll save my lectures not for those on the ground, but for those fueling dissension from positions in our nation's capital where they should do better. Boy, they love centralized government until they don't.
Right?
Man, I'm telling you, Mayor Q, sit this one out, my man. Don't go there. Don't do it. Do yourself a favor. He couldn't help himself.
No.
Couldn't help himself.
I was just going to give him credit, thinking, if he just kind of maintains an even keel.
Yeah.
But he stepped right in it.
He did.
Knee deep.
I don't know why, because
right.
I'm looking at this, and some of you, I shared this morning on X, and a lot of you responded. And one person writes here to me, Pete, he is trying to build his street cred with the DNC. And as I responded to this person this morning on X, DNC is a sinking ship.
Yeah.
Quentin Lucas is better off waiting out the lefty craziness and keeping it at an arm's length. And then as they continue to implode, he can come in as part of this new wave Midwest blue city mayor in a red state and be this perceived, in his own mind at least, white knight to try to right the ship, right? Like the best thing for Quentin Lucas is to literally have the Democratic Party, or not literally, but figuratively, see the Democratic Party burn to the ground because it goes way too far to the left. And then he can basically brand himself as this more moderate Midwest mayor, blue city, red state, understands what the party needs to do to rebuild itself, try to reconnect with a lot of old blue dog Democratic voters in places like Missouri and Kansas, help them win back some key states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Like, that's the best case scenario for him personally. Because if they just keep running to the left and doubling down on really dumb policies driven by people in Washington, D.C., New York, L.A., San Francisco, he's got no shot. He has no future. So that's why I'm surprised he came to the defense of someone like L.A. Mayor Karen Bass here instead of like, I'm staying far away from this First off, it does nothing for Kansas City. Secondarily, if he wants a big political future in the party, I think seeing the whole thing crash and burn is best for him, John.
When you're a sanctuary city and a sanctuary state, I think it goes beyond local dispute, right? National Guard was just there to protect the federal buildings, basically. I mean, once you encroach on those grounds, then the feds get involved.
Yeah.
So not a local dispute.
No, not at all. And maybe the mayor should have listened to some of what was said yesterday by a guy who is certainly not going to be in agreement with me on a lot of things, but I give him credit for saying this. Chris Cillizza. He used to be on CNN. Now he's doing his own show and his own podcast. And I want to play some of what Chris Cillizza had to say yesterday on his show. Once again, formerly of CNN and the Washington Post. He's a News Nation contributor. And here's what he said.
They will not win on a conversation about classes in the streets over Donald Trump's immigration policies. It seems to me that Democrats are not thinking smartly about all of this. They need to understand, again, politics is about winning. Winning is about finding advantageous fights, picking them, and keeping them going. That's what Donald Trump is trying to do. You can like him or you can hate him, and I know a lot of people hate him, but he is very good at understanding that when there's a fight that he has the high ground on when it comes to public perception, he not only picks that fight, but he keeps picking it. He keeps jabbing at it.
And that's exactly what's going on here in L.A. Trump is getting a gift. Instead of talking about Trump v. Elon, instead of talking about, tariffs, maybe the big, beautiful bill, Doge, Trump is getting a massive political victory here, is what he's getting. So what does he say? Well, I'm doubling down on it. And yeah, are there politics involved here in the Marines, the National Guard? Sure. But also the National Guard's allowed to defend federal buildings in L.A., which is a large part of what they were doing last night, and they should be doing. But if the perception is, oh, my goodness, Trump's coming in here with the heavy hand, he's using the National Guard to protect federal buildings, and and your point is?
Exactly. Finish the sentence.
Yeah. Okay, great. Good. I'm glad somebody's protecting our buildings. Because it's not evident the mayor of L.A. is interested in doing that. So, and if Trump's political opponents are going nuts over this, making themselves look crazy, that only helps him because politics is a zero-sum game. If your opponent's losing, you're winning. If the issues that are being discussed are beneficial to you, they're losing. You're winning. And that's where I feel like someone like Mayor Lucas, he's got to understand that. On the text line, Pete, shut up. Stop giving Democrats any ideas to save themselves. It's nothing new. It's nothing I haven't said before, right? I'm just doing my duty as an American. I'm not sitting here optimistic they'll take my advice. Trust me. I'm not predicting that at all. But I'll give you my ideas on how they save themselves, but there's very little evidence to suggest they are interested in taking the advice. So I will just keep talking to you about it here on 95.7 FM, KCMO Talk Radio.